nothing to complain about over here, because what happens? It gives you some perspective towards your own life. I mean, that guy is busy cycling, all right? Like, I don't know how he's blooming doing it, but he's doing it. And the bike is standing, like he's not on the floor, like the bike is literally standing. And I remember some time ago, 2021, wife had shown me something, I think you the one showed me, or at least we watched it together, of this guy in Sri Lanka, I think it was. This guy, literally, the only part of his body that works is his brain and his one finger. And he's about to write his third book in English. That's not their native tongue, man. Like, this is the only part. Like, he's laying flat. This is what he does. He lays flat like this. And he types with one finger. It's the only body part that kind of moves, and his brain that still operates. But he's learned how to speak English, and he's about to write his third book in English. Eh? Now, when you have stories like that, it gives you a lot of perspective within your lives. Did we share the story about the lady who passed her prelims, that went through the hectic stuff? So we got invited by God's grace to a school about 2 odd weeks ago to go and share. The matrics are about to step in to write their prelim exams. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to share this story with them, but we were able to share with the other learners over there. Like, I personally know of a lady, super inspirational. While she was heading into her prelims, or during her prelim exams, this girl was taken captive. She was drugged, beaten, and raped, and she still passed her exams by God's grace. Now, why are stories like that important? Because they give you hope. They're like, yeah, bro, if this person was able to go through A, B, C, D, and E and make it through on the other side, we're about to, blow up over here, because God's going to make a way. There has to be a way. If God was able to make a way for that person, He most definitely can make a way for me moving forward. But this is a lot of the times where we, leading to our next expectation that we sometimes have of people, is like, some people have this expectation. People think that they can enjoy true peace and experience true joy, okay, but yet do things that destroy their joy and their peace. You guys see the picture? You cannot, my friend, enjoy true peace and true joy whilst doing things that destroy your joy and your peace. And one of those things is comparison. Comparing yourself. Because comparison is a very interesting concept. Like, in the world of comparison, there's kind of these two sides here. When you begin to compare yourself to everyone else around you, all right, number one, you can do it in a good way where you get inspired by other people. Like, you hear these stories like, wow, I can make it through and get through on the other side by God's grace. I look at someone else that I'm inspired by. I'm like, wow, look what's possible. Look what we can do with, moving forward with God and so forth. That's the one side. Then these other two sides are the negative ones, which is in comparison over here. The one side is you can drift into immense discouragement. Why? Because you look at maybe this role model, you're like, wow, look at their life. And you go back to yours and you're like, oh, look at mine. The issue is you are literally busy comparing your start to their middle. Obviously, you might be a bit discouraged. So ideally, what you want to do is to find out, how did this person actually start? Because that's going to give you a lot more hope, because you're at the beginning phase, right? So that's the discouragement part. For example, maybe you think that your life is so terrible because why? Your life is fine. I mean, you're blessed. You got a wife, you got a husband, whatever your case is. You got a home. You got all these amazing things that, like, you've been blessed. You got kids. You're blessed. But then you went onto social media and you were scrolling and you saw a friend that's currently in Mauritius, and now you think your life's terrible, right? It's not. Remember, social media is just simply a highlight reel of people's lives. They're not going to go live with their fight with their spouse there. Hey, we're about to go live. Someone, check. I'm about to go into an argument here with my colleagues. You're not going to show that part. You're going to show the victories. Now, people compare their victories to what they're currently busy experiencing right now. And then obviously your life begins to slowly dwindle and fall apart. Okay? That's the one side of comparison. The other side of comparison is the pride. At least I'm not like that person. What's fascinating is, like, sometimes when we share our testimony, like back of a police van 10 years ago, Jesus saved my life. Someone can maybe think like, at least I wasn't as bad as that person, because I didn't do this, but yet you use your tongue to slander people. It's just as evil. Like, my sin, bro, you could see it was out there. Like, I was out there, you can see the weed, you can see the alcohol, you can see all around here, stuff. You could visibly see it, right? But for other people, like, they got hate in their heart. It's just as evil.